Greetings and welcome back, everyone, especially patrons of the Angry Chicken. This is our patron hangout. I believe the sixth one we have done.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, crazy, right?
Jeez.
I'm Garrett Weinzerl. I'm joined by Jocelyn Moffat. Not sure where Dills is tonight, but we're here.
That's okay.
We're gonna take some live calls from our patrons, do some Q&A, and if everyone's shy tonight, we'll figure something out. But hopefully they won't be. So
Yes.
if you are if you have our Skype account and you're a patron, feel free to start calling right now.
And before we really get into it, it became painfully obvious to me last night that you guys need some education. So I brought my Hearthstone coin. So see, everybody can see my Hearthstone coin.
Uh-huh.
I also have a loonie. See,
Oh,
there's a loon on it.
okay.
This is Canada's $1 coin.
You're
Do you
right.
see how
Yes.
I could confuse the two?
You're absolutely correct. That does look incredibly similar. We don't have
And
$1 coins here, so I mean,
I'm
technically
going to
we do.
blow
We
your
have
mind
had them.
again.
Oh,
Because we actually have $2 coins as well. It's called the Toonie, and it has two colors.
oh,
It's silver and
snap. And now I think I know why Scott Johnson thinks you have holes in your money, because it looks
Yes.
like there was once a hole in that money and you plugged it with another piece of money to make a complete piece of money.
And I wish I had a bill. I don't actually have a bill on me, but our bills are actually see-through. They're plastic and see-through.
Sounds like the kinkiest money ever. Plastic and see-through. That money is,
Yep.
trying to get catcalls. I'm just putting that out there. Looks like we've got our first call already, so I'm going to add it to the call. Hello,
Excellent.
caller. What is your name? Where are you calling from? If you can hear us.
Cricket, cricket,
With
cricket.
a picture of an alpaca. I love when this happens.
I know, it's amazing.
Every time.
Okay, now I'm not on mute. I swear.
Perfect.
I figured it out.
Huzzah!
Hello.
Hooray. Sorry. 0 for 1 so far.
How are you tonight?
Good. Sorry. I said on mute that my name's Luke and I'm calling from Aspen, Colorado. So I thought I'd get that out on live on the air.
Awesome. Well, hey, Luke. Welcome to the show.
Hey. So how's it going?
It's going all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yourself?
Well, it's going good. I was playing some earlier and listening to last night's podcast and wanted to talk about the same thing that Dill seems to run into, which is taking one deck from, rank 15 down to like 6 or 5, and then having that same deck run all the way back up to 10, and then getting really frustrated and not quite knowing what to do next, which is when I usually start doing, Gazlo priest decks or Mimiron's Head shaman decks and things like that. And it sounds like you guys have the same issue, huh?
I feel like, yeah, I'm part of the reason maybe the three of us are friends. I feel like we have kind of this hive mind mentality. We kind of react the same way to frustration in games, which actually came up at the Fireside Gathering episode we did over the weekend, where we got to shed some light on Jocelyn actually having some rage, even though she doesn't show it on the show.
Right.
Yeah, I get more ragey in PvP.
But yeah, no, I absolutely do the same thing. I've been hitting a wall lately too. I've been thanks to face hunters, just been having the hardest time dealing with them. I just take too much damage too early, and it takes too long to hit. Turn 5 where I can get a sludge belcher out and start absorbing some of the hits, and just too much damage has been done.
Right.
So I have been playing what I call LOL Mech, which is a priest deck that's just pretty much nothing but mechs. And a couple of Northshire clerics for card draw and whatnot. It has Foe Reaper in it.
Yeah, I got a gold Full Reaper, so I've been looking to, find a reason to play that, but it's been hard so far, except for when Gazlo somehow draws him.
I will tell you, man, when that thing actually gets online and can start swinging, it is just silly.
Right.
I was so ready to shred it immediately. I'm like, oh, I'll never use this. I was like, well, let me make just a stupid fun mech deck, and now he feels like my friend. I don't want to get rid of Foe Reaper, even though I still don't think he's like legitimate ranked play material.
Right.
But I just have so much damn fun with him.
Yeah, I mean, if people can't take him down, then what are you going to be able to do next? I mean, you're going to lose your whole board pretty much.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, 6 damage to one thing and the 2 things around it. That's a strong effect.
Right.
Right. Yeah, and especially nowadays, that's the other funny thing I kind of noticed with it is it kind of is it's kind of takes the meta in a weird way into its favor, because a lot of people aren't playing minions over 7 attack because of the popularity of Big Game Hunter. So he actually lives from attacking a lot of the things that you're going to encounter.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Trogzor can make some sort of comeback, because he was the first legendary that I crafted after GVG, and obviously he didn't get the favor that Dr. Boom did, but it seems like maybe he could make a comeback.
Yeah, I'm curious. I feel like if I don't know, we need more spell heavy decks to really make
I guess
worth
that's
it.
the problem, right? Is that it's all minions all the time now, and there's just not enough spells out there. I mean, secrets and fireballs, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And I was also wondering if you guys think they come out with a Death Knight or a Monk hero power or Monk classes, what do you think the hero power could actually be? Because it seems like the 9 hero powers are so well balanced and so even and make so much sense.
I feel like we've talked about this before, haven't we, Garrett? What we thought the hero powers would be?
For what?
Or maybe I just read
For-
a bazillion emails telling me what Death Knight should look like.
Yeah, there's
Well, I mean, yeah, like a heal 1 and an attack 1 randomly. I mean, what would the Death Knight do?
See, that seems, I don't know, that seems
I would like
OP unless it was random. Like, you know, if it was
Right.
1 heal to the hero and 1 damage to a random minion, that would be kind of, sort of, maybe balanced.
I don't
But I
see it
feel
as
like if
being
you can direct it at all, then that's the mage's hero power, right? Is the 1 directed damage. So
well, that's my first. I don't think it'd necessarily be OP, but that is the thing, is it would then make the mage's hero power instantly seem weaker.
Right,
Yeah.
because it's only 1.
But that is my like initial thing. Like I start thinking
and you
about,
can't really make the mage 2, because if you make the mage 2, then you make Hunter weak, because Hunter's 2 but can only attack face. So that's such a balance problem.
right. Well, exactly. I'm sure this is one of the many. It's hysterical because we talk about what makes it hard about introducing a new hero, and the hero power is difficult. But then you also have to figure, well, they have to now then design a bunch of exclusive cards for that hero as well.
Right.
That's definitely going to be harder because there's a lot more. They only have to design 1 hero power. They have to design a lot of cards.
Yeah. Well, I don't envy their job, but I would like to see another class. That'd be pretty exciting too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mix up the meta like that.
I just a quick note aside for the folks watching. If you do want to call in, guys, you don't have to wait for the current caller to leave. You can just start calling in because it's not a huge deal. It won't cause any problems. So just keep calling in, and I'll add you when I can. But yeah, hey, Dills, welcome.
Dills is here.
What's up?
Oh, Dills.
What's going on, guys? Sorry, I was in the car when you called me, and then I realized like I was voice texting you. I was like, I could have just answered the phone, but I don't have it like set up to like do Bluetooth. So I was like, no, I can't talk on the phone. And then I was like, phone, text Garrett this thing. So anyway, I don't know. I had Sorry about that.
It's all right, dude. I had a moment today where I was planning out my evening, and I went, oh crap, we have an extra podcast to do tonight. So totally cool.
Yeah, I did remember. I just got stuck at work. We had a weird situation where podcasts could not be played, which is kind of important when you're a podcast website. So we had to fix that.
That is a little important, a bit.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking to Luke here, and
What's up, Luke?
And he was
What's up, Dills?
trying to brainstorm with us, like if they did add Death Knight, what the hero power might look like.
Oh, the hero power of Death Knight.
Yeah, exactly. And
Monk.
Or Monk.
I like
or
the
Monk.
idea of a 1/1 ghoul with charge.
Right, chat room saying that's what Amaz put
Yeah.
forward.
yeah,
I think it's cool because there's some limitations to it, like it can't get through taunt, so it's a little bit worse than, say, a mage
but then
hero
it's
ability, but you can buff it. So
yeah.
you throw a 1/1 down, and then you do something like, buff it with a Dark Iron Dwarf or something like that, right? Abusive Sergeant, something. So then you got 3 attack guy. So it could be kind of cool. And then it has to die at the end of the turn, no matter what.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh, at the end of the turn. Okay, I was gonna say because that just makes the Paladin hero power instantly worse.
Right, useless.
Yeah. Well, but essentially what it is like, Death Knights have that little ghoul thing in WoW. They pop ghoul up and then it fights for like a minute. It's essentially that. So 1/1 with charge. It's weaker than mage because it doesn't go through taunt, but it's okay because it's a 1/1 you can buff. So that's what kind of gives it its its strength. That's what evens it out with mage.
Okay. Yeah, I do like that idea because the first place my brain goes is Death Coil. It's like, well, it can ping for 1 on enemies and heal for 1 on friendlies, but that immediately makes the mage hero power worse. So it's interesting because when you think about Death Knight, what are some like? Obviously, if you play WoW, you have the 3 different specs, and there's all kinds of crap you can pull from. But if you're trying to boil it down to its essence, and you start to think of Arthas and Mograine, what are the first thing that comes to your mind? And the only thing I can think of that's kind of this universal thing with Death Knights is Death Coil. And the ghoul was another thing that came to my mind. I was like, because one of my favorite things when Death Knights first came into WoW was being able to resurrect a fallen ally as a ghoul. That's not particularly powerful, but I didn't care because I just loved the flavor of it. So I was like, well, what if when a minion dies, but it just gets too complicated?
Yeah.
And it needs to be something that you can do with nothing on board because every hero power in the game currently, you can use it with nothing on board.
Mm-hmm.
True. Yeah. Well,
except for priest on turn 2.
Yeah. Priest with nothing on board and no damage taken sucks, but it's also fine because it's essentially better than warrior when you're trying to heal minions and using it for board control, right? So yeah, I don't know. I think that they'll come up with something cool, but that was the kind of first thing I thought of when I thought of what it could be. It could also do something with Death Coil, but I feel like Death Coil is such a weak ability now in WoW. We want it to be something that they actually use, right?
Well, I mean,
it's not so bad in Heroes of the Storm.
It's amazing in Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, that's true.
It's amazing in Heroes of the Storm, and it has existed in the RTS. And
Heroes of the Storm.
you can't take it like so 1-to-1 with WoW. So I mean,
no, it's true. But they do actually do a pretty good job of kind of like really giving it the flavor of WoW, right? Like, what was the card that they just added? I was thinking of this the other day. It's gonna take me a while to.
Well, they just added a lot of cards.
Yeah. What was that card they just added?
Of the 160
Probably a goblin or a
possible.
Things like Fuegan and Stalag, making Thaddeus and stuff like that. Like that kind of stuff really does have the flavor of what happens in World of Warcraft. So I think it does. It matters. It doesn't have to be 1-to-1. You're right, but it matters. Let's see if I can find the card I was thinking of.
I get what you're saying.
I hope they're making this though, right? Like that's what we all hope is that we're gonna get Death Knight soon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about soon.
It won't be soon.
We'll totally get it. No way in hell is it soon. No way. Absolutely no way.
Maybe announced next BlizzCon?
Possibly. Maybe.
If there is a BlizzCon.
If there is a BlizzCon,
there will be a BlizzCon.
Tell us soon.
Don't you talk like that.
I hope they tell us soon, damn it. I've got a honeymoon to plan. Let's do this.
So romantical.
It is to me, damn it.
I know.
I still have that picture of Katie and I kissing on Ice Crown's throne from the first BlizzCon we attended.
Aww.
Yeah.
I just got married, guys, and I'm trying to convince the wife now to go to maybe Nerdtacular or BlizzCon. I'm trying to make my choice there.
They're both amazing. They're both really fun.
You guys all going out to Nerdtacular this year?
Yes.
The plan is to go. I always go. So.
I don't think I can go this year.
Oh, weak, dude.
Yeah.
One of my best buddies lives in Salt Lake. One of the best men for my wedding. He lives there, so I think that could work out nicely.
Awesome. Yeah, I had a lot of fun last year. It was a good time.
Druid of the Fang. That's the one.
Druid of the Fang.
Can't imagine
Druid of the Fang because in Wailing Caverns there's these druids stand there and then they turn into snakes. So yeah. By the way, I played a Druid of the Fang deck and it actually isn't so bad. It's not the worst thing ever. You do have to put in
great
some cards.
Endorsement.
Well, so you do have to put in some cards, but it's essentially what it is like the kind of aggro-y druid deck, but it has this in there as well. And you use things like Jungle Panther because actually that's or not what's the 2 mana cost card for druids? The Panther thing that it could be a buff or it can be a Panther. Damn it, what's the name of it?
Oh.
Power of the Wild.
Power of the Wild. Thank you. That's a beast too. So you actually do have a fairly decent amount of beasts already. And then having the ability to summon extra 7/7s throughout the game is actually pretty good.
Oh, and by the way, guys, I know the word viable comes in here, but I've been playing a Warbot Hobgoblin Warrior deck lately that doesn't do too bad. It does really bad sometimes, but other times it's pretty fun.
I think Hobgoblin is okay. I think there's a way to make that deck work. I think that Kibler is doing pretty well with it because Druid, I think, is the natural fit, right? Where
Right, so you can innervate stuff out.
Yep.
yeah, you can innervate out, so you can get a lot of value on it the turn you play it, which I think is really the struggle with a card like that. But also the fact that little crappy minions are okay anyway because you're just trying to savage for them at some point, right? So flooding the board with little crappy minions is okay, even if you don't have the Hobgoblin out.
Right. Yeah. For me, I mean, I just Control Warrior is just such a pain. The games take so long that I just look for anything Warrior when I get that daily that I can actually play something other than Control.
That's an interesting concept. Yeah.
That's a really good point.
I mean,
Anyway.
you've also got it synergizes little crappy minions synergize with things like Execute pretty well, So you just run a little crappy guy in, and then you can execute him, and you don't care so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got the Execute in there. I've got the Death's Bite. I've got the, it can get through. And then you throw in Grommash at the end, and, they don't really see that coming usually. So.
Okay.
That sounds cool.
All right.
I want to play against this deck. Let's do that. Well, Luke,
All
man,
right,
thanks for
I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time.
yeah, thanks for calling in, Luke.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Love the podcast. Love Heroes of the Storm. Keep it up.
Have a good one,
Thanks,
dude.
man.
I should go to the chat room, shouldn't I?
that would help.
Right.
Well, and folks, again, just keep calling in. We'll add you as we can. Real quick while we wait for calls, though, Undertaker nerf.
Oh yeah.
Gotta
I'm
say.
expecting someone to call in and ask about that, but yeah, I think it's perfect. Good job.
Yeah, I'm happy with it as well. Damn it, why can't you make announcements on Monday mornings?
Well,
The show last night was long enough. We didn't need an Undertaker nerf to slide in there too.
That is very true.
So I think the way that they did it, I think, is really good because it's still a strong aggro card, right? Because it still is getting buffed. So it's and I think it's actually easier than some people are like, oh, it's like a weaker mana worm. No, it's not, because with a mana worm you're required to cast a spell, and a spell might not be good in that situation. Whereas Undertaker, it's pretty much always good to throw something on the board, right?
Yeah, because it's synergized with other minions. A spell, you cast it, and whatever happened that one time, and it's done. Whereas you play a minion, and now that it's just something that needs to be dealt with on top of something else.
You
that
don't
want to
just frostbolt the guy's face on turn 2 just so you can buff your mana worm, right?
Exactly.
Sometimes you might just go, well, damn it, I want to buff my mana worm.
Yeah.
But if they don't play anything, then it's it loses value. So the fact that this guy, it's like, yeah, I do want to play Haunted Creeper on turn 2, whether the board is clear or not. So it would be too powerful if it was a 3-1, I think, or 1-3. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Plus, this means that Zombie Chow just got a huge buff.
Yeah. Zombie Chow can actually kill the thing no matter what.
Exactly. I'm so happy about it. We have another caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey guys, this is Skylar Johnson. I'm calling from California.
Well, hi, Skylar.
Hey guys. So I know you guys are all big WoW fans, right? Right.
I hate it. It's a terrible game.
I came to Hearthstone from actually zero WoW experience, and my wife and I have really started liking Hearthstone. And we watched that show, The League, I think it was called, with Felicia Day. And I know it's obviously that's not the best Yeah, the Guild.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, not the Guild, The League. Yeah, that's right.
The League is something entirely different.
Right. And I'm not even sure this is like the best way to get the idea of what it's like actually playing WoW, but at the same time, after playing Hearthstone and then hearing about all this stuff, we actually want to get into WoW now, my wife and I. But we have literally no experience with it, and so I figure maybe you guys would have some good ideas for us.
Well, this sounds fantastic. I think you should jump right on board. Actually, this is the best time to do it.
I was just about to say that.
Of any time.
Yeah.
Because
why is that?
You can just go straight to level 90, so you're just like right in there.
But
you have to level all the way.
But do you lose anything by not making that trek to 90?
No.
Not really. I mean, speaking as someone who joined the game within the last couple of years, the story experience is so built around dungeons and raids. Like, I mean, all of the big bosses of all of the expansions are in raid form. So if you're just leveling by yourself, it's really hard to get a kind of cohesive story in some of the earlier expansions. So you're not really missing out on that much. And they've kind of whittled down the skills and spells and everything, so it's a lot easier to jump in at those higher levels than it was before. So I think that it is really the best time to get in there, and you're not going to miss all that much by not leveling up. Like, you're just going to miss,
Miss the grind.
Yeah, exactly. I was
Yeah.
like trying to figure out how many hours it took to get
And
there.
honestly,
hate leveling, though.
nothing
that's
is,
really what you want to do. If you're dead set on that, that wouldn't be like a
Well, that's the
wrong
thing.
to do.
I have no idea what there is to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anything, if you guys could say like if we should just invest in Warlords of Draenor up front now.
I would, because I would, because you get the level 90 boost. You can still start a character. You got I would recommend getting the Warlords, because I think you get Warlords, you have everything.
Yes,
So
yeah.
you don't have to buy anything else, right?
Yeah, you just buy the Warlords box.
Yeah.
And I mean, nothing is stopping you from leveling if you want to, but I would go in, I would boost to 90, I would hit Draenor together and see how you like that. And if for whatever reason you're like, well, I feel like we're missing something, start level 1s and level them up.
Yeah.
The Undead
always
starting
do that,
zone, I
yeah.
recently did, and I hadn't played it since it was redone after Cataclysm. It's amazing. There's some really cool stuff in there. But some of the stuff afterwards gets kind of boring. And for me, if I have to see Outland one more time, I'm going to probably choke a small, adorable animal to death.
Yeah, because we were just screwing around. We both did the starter on the, what is it, the Worgans? Is that what they are?
Okay,
dude,
yeah.
that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool, I just didn't know if it's worth just like keep on going down that path, or, I have like no idea how any of the expansions work, or do I just like randomly start doing the expansions?
You don't have to buy anything, because you can just play it to level 20, right? So you could just level a few different characters, and then once you feel like, okay, now I know which one I want to play, then boost that guy to 90 and buy Warlords. That would probably be a good way to go, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, like, just the game is the funnest when there's a lot of people playing and a lot of people doing the stuff you're doing. That's really what makes WoW so good, in my opinion, is that it's the most populated of the MMOs. Like, I've played other MMOs and they're fun and the gameplay is really cool, but what I'm always missing is the kind of fullness of what's going. Like, there's just so much going on. You walk into Orgrimmar and there's just people running all over the place doing stuff. And you won't really get that if you're back in like Pandaria and stuff, leveling your tunes. It's going to be a ghost land wherever you are. So just jump in, get right into the action with all the other people, and you get a good sense of the story at this point too.
Are there two classes that we should choose, like that
Hunter.
would work off well off of each other?
Hunter.
Both go Hunter.
Hunter's fine alone, and in
Yeah,
a
I
group
vote
it just
Hunter.
gets silly. I would say one of you, if either of you are interested in a pet class, go for it, because then your pet will be able to kind of be the tank for you too.
I see.
Well, yeah, Hunter's just the best class. That's just a fact.
Or you could go.
It might be good for one of you to be a class that can be a tank or a healer, so that you can get
like
into.
priests?
Well, priest can't tank. I would probably suggest something like druid or pally.
Yeah, they're pure
Ally
hybrids.
could
They
do
can do
both roles.
anything. Yeah. Druids or paladins can do anything. So can monks.
Druids are really fun. Druids are fun.
I like paladins
Now-
more than druids personally. That's the thing, is it's all kind of personal preference, and
So just see what we like,
yeah, I would
Yeah.
roll a bunch of level 1s and just tool around with the different classes and find what suits you.
Sorry.
Because I originally thought I wanted to be a rogue, and then I tried Hunter, and I'm like, I love this compared to rogues. Rogues suck. So,
Well, sweet.
yeah. It's,
Yeah, but good
kinda
luck,
fun.
man. You're gonna have a blast. Trust me. It'll get
Yeah.
cool when you start to run into the cards in Hearthstone. You're like, oh, that's a thing in WoW.
Well,
that actually exists.
I know it's funny because I'm sure you guys had the absolutely the opposite experience where you're going through Hearthstone. And you're like, oh, this is reminding me of the stuff from WoW, and now I'm running around through World of Warcraft. I'm like, hey, that's that sound from Hearthstone. Oh, that's the sound of the priest healing or something.
Well, there's some stuff that's in Hearthstone that wasn't something I really paid attention to the first time through in WoW. So things like, King Mukla, like going through Stranglethorn Vale or wherever is that where he was? Stranglethorn? I feel like that's where he was, right? Anyway, like I've noticed them now, and they weren't things I really paid attention to the first time. So that still happens to me too. But yeah, you guys are gonna have a
Guys.
blast. That's the best MMO there is by far, and
Awesome.
I've tried a lot.
Well, thanks for taking my call.
No problem, Skylar. You're gonna have a good
Call.
time.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
See ya.
I'm gonna step away for a second. Go ahead and grab your next guy.
Ain't no thing. People are being super bashful tonight. We actually haven't had any other calls. We've had people adding us, but no one's calling. Why would you add us and not call, folks? I don't get it. But so, Jocelyn, I just have to ask. No, I don't, because we have another call. Got another call. I believe this is Chris. Hey, Chris. Had people adding us, but no one's calling. Oh, we can hear ourselves, Chris, but not you. Hello? Chris is the original mic problem.
Oh, no. Rip Chris.
Hey, man. Hey, guys. How we doing?
Oh, there we are.
Good.
Well, here we go. Hold on. I'm got to readjust my levels here. I got you on the going through the board. So you got me now?
Yes.
We can hear you loud and clear.
All right. I'll back off that. You're a little hot. Anyway, hey, how we doing, guys?
Good, good. How are you? It looks like your setup has gotten a little more professional since last we spoke.
It has, and I've actually started my own podcast. We're about 3 or 4 episodes in now. So
Did you call in to
Congratulations.
shamelessly plug yourself?
No. You asked.
Okay. Well, I
think you should go ahead.
Well, I'd like to plug you. So what is your podcast, Chris?
It's Gaming Dads. I'm doing it with my son. We are doing a kind of a geek culture from father-son's perspective. Talk about board games. Talk about.
We're getting some
we are
feedback.
totally getting-
Oh,
We
one
can hear
second. If I
ourselves
let me
on
see
the
if
delay.
I think I may have not muted the stream yet.
That's what it
yes.
sounds like.
That'll do it.
Oh, crap, there it is.
It's still
Did this get posted?
There we
to
go.
The tax subreddit.
Yeah, it did. The first episode I put up on the tax subreddit because we talked a lot about Hearthstone.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
But yeah, so we're doing it. Went to the Atlanta Atlanta Game Fest this weekend, and did a show about that. Played a bunch of board games there. It was a lot of fun. But anyway, that's not what I called. I called to talk about Crackle.
No, get off.
No.
Leave. Leave. Boo.
Oh, we're losing you. Oh, sorry.
No. I kid. Actually, I wanted to talk some about what I was listening to the episode this morning, and listening to Dills talk about, the number of games it takes to get. And have you seen that win chart on the competitive Hearthstone subreddit? So if I'm tracking it like 50, 55, or 54 to 56% is about where my win rate is usually.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at like 250 games or so to get from 5 to legendary.
Yeah.
How long do those games take? Because we're pushing 10 a day now. 30 days in a season, you got to play 10 in a day. So that's a lot of time.
It is.
Absolutely.
I think this is the real problem right now. We talked about this on last night's show about
A lot about it.
the ladder isn't really correct.
Yeah, that
right
was the
now.
interesting thing. It kind of just started as like a top of the show mention. I think it developed into a really interesting conversation.
Yeah, but I mean, essentially, like what they've turned ladder into is they've got this kind of, they've got this carrot on a stick here, right, of getting legendary, and then basically
I thought it
to
increased
get
your
it
mount speed.
doesn't necessarily mean you're better at the game. It just means you put in the time, right? And that's really not how ladder should necessarily work. Ladder should really just kind of represent your ability, your skills, right? Like who's better than the other guy, and that's why you're higher on the ladder. So the way they've got it right now set up, it's kind of funky. I think we all kind of agreed that this is probably not its final form, right?
Yeah, I read Kibler's article the other day, and he had some really good points about what he thought was wrong. He's obviously got a lot of experience in and around card games. So,
Oh,
but yeah,
absolutely.
it's just,
He's made
I
quite a
look
few
at
of
that
them.
and I just get discouraged.
Yep. I'm right there with you, man.
Yeah,
Like
that's kind of what we talked about last night. Is just the overall discouraging factors. One of the few times that all three of us unanimously agreed with one another.
it makes me feel like I can't play arena. I can't do random decks. It makes me feel like, okay, I'm sitting here playing Hearthstone and I'm not utilizing my Hearthstone time, which is limited already, I need to be playing ranked games, and I need to be playing the most viable deck of the moment against the current meta, or else I'm losing efficiency, right? And that's I shouldn't
exactly,
feel that way.
And not to just regurgitate what Kibler said, but that was a really good point he brought up in his article, was that he's just like, well, I want to play all these other decks, but I feel like I'm wasting my allotted Hearthstone time if I'm not playing the fastest, most efficient deck I can.
Yeah.
And that's
we shouldn't be encouraging people to play that way, right? We should be encouraging people to play just however they want to play, and then that's fine.
Yeah, that was kind of an interesting thought that he presented that kind of twisted my brain for a minute when he started talking about, okay, since the little aggro decks play so much faster than the other decks, the total number of decks, they represent a larger portion of them. Yeah. So, so when the time that 10 Druid games get played, 40 Hunter games get played, so there's 3 times as many Hunter games happening, so you're more likely to get one.
It may not be that there's more Hunters. It may just be that they're done with their games faster.
They're queuing up 3 times as often as anybody else. So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, Quicken makes a good point in the chat. I did kind of throw away a chunk with my priest time, but see, this is what happens to me. I don't have that grindy mentality in me to sit there and just play. Like, okay, I'm going to play just Zoo and Hunter because that's going to give me the best chance to get to Legend. I lose my mind every now and then, and I go, but I want to have fun, damn it! All right, Mind Blast Priest, let's go. And then and then I tanked 6 ranks, but I had a blast doing it, so I don't know. I don't feel bad about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be some kind of happy medium, like. Obviously, you shouldn't be able to play whatever the hell deck you want and make it to Legend. Like, I shouldn't just be able to go random deck, go get to Legend. But I also shouldn't just have to play Face Hunter. Like,
this is true.
Or Zoolock. Like, those shouldn't be my 2 options.
The volume of games shouldn't matter as much as it does.
Right, and that's
Jocelyn, you said you're going to go for Legend next season, right?
I am, yeah.
What's your strategy? How are you going to approach this?
I'm not telling you.
What? I'm not asking for me. Just for our listeners, for our patrons.
Well, exactly. Then everyone's going to know, and then I'm not going to get to Legend because everyone's going to be doing my super awesome, sweet strategy.
She's like, well, I'm moving into Youngwoo's basement, and I'm going to get insider tips every single game.
With 46 people in here, all patrons, and you think that you're just going to queue into those same 46 people over and over again?
Hey,
there's 20 million people playing the game.
It's lonely at the top.
Oh god!
I think she's probably going to play that Eye for an Eye deck, but
absolutely, no one's going to see it coming. Get it?
You.
See what you did there.
In that Eye for an Eye.
No, I mean, realistically, I'm going to do what everybody does. I'm just going to pick whatever deck is most viable, which is probably going to be some sort of Hunter or Warlock, and I am just going to play until it's not fun anymore, but I'm going to get that card back.
All right. I actually, though, now with Undertaker being nerfed, I'm not sure it will be Hunter. I think we might see...
Yeah, I was thinking that, too. It's probably not Hunter.
I still think you're
probably a version of Zoo, I would think.
Yeah, I think Zoo or maybe like a fast Druid deck.
Yeah, and I was having fun with Druid, and I was thinking I might go with that, but it's going to really depend. I think I'm probably going to take Zoo up through to single digits and then see what I can switch to that's actually fun.
You should just ignore Zoo and just start out with Paladin. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, Paladin too.
It is the way to go, and it doesn't just feel like a bore fest.
Yeah. You know what? I'm at the point where I've decided I'm going to do this, so I don't care if I get bored. It's competitive Jocelyn is putting competitive Jocelyn face on. I don't care what it looks like. I'm doing this.
She's going to become she's going to have that cat in her lap, and she's just going to be like an evil genius, just stroking the cat, getting the Legend.
Yep.
Throwing it in our faces once she does. All right. Looking forward to this.
Thrall needs more Hearthstone souls.
What rank are you at now, Jocelyn? Are you pre-gaming? Are you trying to get it up as high as you can so that you don't have...
Oh, no, I'm not. No, I gave up on this season. I got so angry after my football Sunday. I was just like, I think I made it to 13, and I was just like...
Threw in the towel,
F this noise. Yep.
Deflated your football and went home? Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't one of those pre-deflated ones, was it?
Well, all right. What about you, Chris? Are you gonna go for a legend at some point? Is this something that like have you done legend? I don't. I guess I don't know.
No. I think the highest I've been is probably 9, but I've never spent multiple hours a day playing. So
yeah. Well, you're dead, so.
I want to get the card back though. I want to have that accomplishment, at some point, and I'd like to get it, but it's just a matter of putting the time in. I've been playing a ramp because I think I'm most consistent with it, and I just got annihilated by a mech druid on the ladder. So maybe that's where Jocelyn needs to go, is with the mech druid.
Mech Mage, I had a lot of fun and a lot of success with Mech Mage, and I was just telling chat room that it's probably going to be a mix, because they also mentioned Savitsa's Portal Mage, and he's been doing really, really well with that as well. So
yeah, I was watching him play that today. It was really interesting. Yeah. I really don't like Unstable Portal, but it was really fun watching him play those games.
Yeah,
but Unstable Portal is so fun. Like that's to me that makes a deck that might be really like 28 other really good cards in a really good deck. It's totally boring because you're just like, mulligan for Mech Warper.
You know what? That's a really good point.
Mech Warper. Throw all my stuff on the, and then you can throw this one card in that's totally random and fun, but then also is potentially violent to straight win you games, So
that's a good point.
To me, that's like a cool card, and I like the fact that it's in there.
Fair enough. You made a good point there. I think you sold me.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know. I think Mech Mage might be the next deck I might try and take up the ladder. That might be what I do next season, or I might just I really dig in Paladin. I'm surprised I haven't gotten burnt out on it yet, but I think I might.
Seems to be a lot of variety in the Paladins right now.
Yeah, I keep changing around like the last 2 cards.
You've got some space there in the middle where you can kind of go, all right, let's throw Greenskin in. Okay, let's take him out. Let's throw in.
I'm not sure about Greenskin, but yeah,
let's take him out. Let's throw in whatever.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. You got wiggle room with the Paladin. I like it.
Yeah.
Like
it's a fun class. I'm just glad that it's okay now, because it was really sad that you just couldn't.
It is better than okay. I think it's one of the strongest classes in the game at the moment. I really like me some Paladin.
That's what I switched to the last night, because I was like, all right, I guess I'll go back to ladder after I was doing some arena.
Did you use my deck?
No, but a similar one. Okay. Very close.
All right.
Yeah,
cool.
But I had Greenskin in there. I just can't not put Greenskin in because I love making a 5 damage True Silver Champion and killing Sludge Belchers with one swing of my axe. So
that's a good point. I don't know. I mean, I almost always have a token for that extra 1 damage, so I'm not that concerned.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, there's lots of other tools, but I don't know. I love that card in there.
Yeah, it's good. Well, Chris, any other questions or talking points?
Nothing. Just I'll see you guys at Nerdtacular this year. We got permission from the Grand Poobah to attend. So
fantastic.
The whole family will be there
bringing the clan. Awesome.
Really looking forward to it. Bring the clan. We're gonna have a big old time.
So jealous.
Perfect.
So jealous. I want to go.
You'll be there.
You'll be there.
No, I don't think I will. Anyways, thanks for calling in, Chris.
When's the wedding, Garrett?
Halloween.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that now.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of time. Nerdtacular is what, August 1st is when it ends up this year?
It's
the end of July, yeah.
Well, you're going from Georgia. It's a lot of money to get out there. I could go to BlizzCon twice for the price of the just for the plane ticket. I mean,
try taking 4 people out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, try taking 4. And actually, I'm in Tennessee.
I can't. I can't take myself.
Yeah. But you got to do what you got to do.
Yep.
So.
Yep. It's a weird.
It's the funnest thing you'll ever do. So
it is. Yeah, it's worth it. Yeah,
it is.
We do a lot of that stuff. I do some of the game fests. I go to Dragon Con every year, so that's
cool.
That's a lot of fun.
That's on my list because I could drive to it. I really want to go to that sometime.
Yeah, you ought to come up. It's a big time. There's usually a whole host of Frog Pants people.
Yeah, I know.
Around.
It's like Nerdtacular Part 2 or 1.
And I think
whenever it takes
Nicole
place.
runs part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Nicole. I saw Nicole and Brian Dunaway and all those crew in the podcast track last year. That was cool to see them. And Tom Merritt's always there, and Veronica and those guys. So it's a lot of fun. But I want to feel the intimacy of the Nerdtacular.
Oh, it's great. Yeah. It's like just
we all hug all the time, just the whole time.
It's just enough people.
It's all hugging, all the tackle hugs.
That's not what I meant.
No, it is like that. It feels like you're Nerdtacular is really cool because it feels like you're kind of in on something that nobody else knows about, and it's just this awesome thing that's going on. It's not a huge con. It's like everyone's coming from. It's like, no, we know about frog pants. Nobody else knows. Like, don't tell everybody, but this thing is really cool.
Yeah, it's
so
just,
you definitely get that feeling there.
It's just big enough to feel like an event, but it's yeah, like you said, it's definitely way more intimate. It's me and like 749 of my closest friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a good time.
All right, guys.
Plus, Patrick might give you a beret there. It could happen.
Or a scarf.
A
And Dills might give
I-
you an American flag sleeveless shirt that is
I
just
might.
oozing class.
I'm still crossing my fingers. I'm gonna get one of those.
We should all wear one.
There you go. It'd just be like the coolest gang around.
Show up. Be Dill's peeps.
Oh God.
There you go. All
Awesome.
right, guys.
All right, Chris. Thanks for calling.
Good to
man.
talk to you, man. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
See ya, man.
See ya.
It's a good chat. You're making me sad. I want to go Nerdtacular.
You need
I
to.
can't justify the cost. I can't do it. I cannot
It's
justify
fun.
the cost.
Justified.
I can't.
Boom.
I have like almost no money saved for the wedding. It's gonna be
So
rough.
have a smaller wedding. What's the problem?
It's already as small as I can make it. We're
I'm
not
not getting invited anymore, am I?
we're not paying for the venue. We're keeping this as cheap as we possibly can.
My mom actually does weddings at City Hall, and I remember when I was younger being like, how do people just go to City Hall and get married? And then as you get older, you're like, oh, I see why.
Yeah, that's how. That's how exactly. Okay.
Oh, I see. Because you
All
just show up and pay like a fee, and then somebody does it, and then you're done.
And
Yeah.
you're done.
Yeah.
You don't
Which
have to,
which
like,
I would be okay.
buy
There's
the
just
thing.
no way my family would like ever forgive me if that's what I did.
Everybody says that.
So-
Just
Yeah.
go do it at City Hall and then have them throw you a party.
No, you
You're
don't.
like, you want a party?
You
Throw it.
do not understand the family dynamic with some of the wine
Well,
girls.
yeah, I mean, it is your first wedding, so you want
Yes.
to make it special.
It's hopefully my only wedding.
That's what they all say.
Oh, man. No, it'll be your only wedding. I know.
Yeah.
I can tell.
No, I don't know. I've been thinking about doing something. I've been thinking about maybe doing an art, because I do graphic design on the side. I've been thinking about like just doing like a big drive, like help fund my flight to Nerdtacular. I'm gonna do an obscene amount of overlays. Pay what you want. I've been like thinking about ways I might be able to swing it, but I don't know. It's weird.
You could probably do something like that. Yeah, make people like exchange artwork for donations, and
That's
then
what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
Like
could
I
happen.
don't know. Yeah, like an A move or an angry chicken, like
I
Hearthstone
mean, the Trek
overlay.
nerd didn't exchange anything. He just asked for money, and people gave it to him.
I don't want to do that. Though
That's
we already.
what Josh in the chat room is saying. Garrett,
Well,
Florida
I
will
don't,
raise the
I
money
don't know.
for you.
We have the Patreon, and it's incredibly successful, and I'm incredibly humbled by it. But I still feel awkward about the whole thing. Like I don't know. It's
Well,
it's weird.
I would feel awkward asking for money for a specific thing like that. Like this,
Yeah.
the people are like supporting us because they enjoy what we do, and
Exactly.
I support other people for things that I don't have to. You know, I subscribe to streamers and whatever, because I feel like I want people to be creating content, and
Yeah.
and if nobody pays for it, then it'll go away.
Yeah,
People will
I am a
stop creating
proud
content.
patron of the morning stream and Tom Merritt's Daily Tech News Show. Like I love those. I can't imagine my life without those two things. So I support that. I absolutely support those.
Yeah. And so to me, I never feel awkward about it because I understand the mentality on both sides. Like we create this content and we may not have the chance to do it, at the level that we can now because of things like Patreon. So I never feel bad about that. But if I were just saying like, yo, my car broke down, go fund me, then I would feel totally weird about that.
I guess so. I guess it's a good point. So that's I'm trying to think of something in exchange. Like I don't want to just ask for money. So I was thinking maybe I'll make an overlay in a variety of resolutions and put it out there and just pay what you want and tell folks that it'll help send my stupid butt to Nerdtacular. So I'll figure it out.
There you go.
Figure it out.
There you go.
So anyways, well, man, it's almost already time here.
I know.
So,
we have 10 minutes.
If anyone else wanted to call in, now's the time. You'll be our last call because I got to go.
Are we gonna like nana in Jocelyn's face about Undertaker or not? We're just gonna let that slide.
I mean, we've all been wrong once. I don't like. She made some good points. I wasn't entirely sure it was a correct call. I'm glad it was because I want that thing
Look
there.
at her face right now.
So, all right, last call here.
Thank you.
Last call. Caller, are you here to berate Jocelyn into the ground about Undertaker, or do you have something else you'd like to talk about?
Oh my god.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Oh, it's D-Day. What's
It's
up?
D-Day. Hey, D-Day. How
See,
you
D-Day,
doing, man?
we're buds. He's gonna let me go.
He
on
gets
this.
it. He gets it.
Punisher.
I was actually like listening to you guys talk and everything, and I'm sitting here playing Hearthstone, and I get like the crap kicked out of me by a freaking spell power rogue.
Oh,
Nice.
that's a new one.
Was it
Yeah.
running Malagos again?
No Malagos, but like he kept bouncing all my crap, and then at the last turn I was like, oh, I have 10 health left. He's got a 1/1 on the board. I'm good. Plays a Zerdrake, plays the Kobold, and then eviscerates me for 6.
Oh.
Oh,
Well,
okay,
you know,
thanks, guys.
what was the card? What's the card that? Oh, the Dalaran Mage. You know that was nerfed originally because of Rogue. Remember that was a 2/4, or yeah, a 2/4. Now it's a 1/4.
Oh,
Originally, Rogue was doing that, just tons of spell power, and then just stuff to your face because Shiv was only 1 mana. You know, like you could buff your weapon. You just had so much like face damage.
yeah. Shiv, Eviscerate, Sinister Strike.
What you would call it? You could use backstab on anything, not undamaged minions. So if you could get like a 5 damage backstab, you just kill whatever you want.
Yeah, we're talking about old
Back
bad.
in the original Rogue.
Yeah.
Or how about original Druid that was running a bunch of spell damage? Because you could do Wrath could hit face, and so could Starfall. So basically, like everything could hit face, and they just had so many friggin' spells it was ridiculous.
Imagine if a shield slam could hit face with the current warrior situation.
Oh yeah. According to Twitch chat, it can. It definitely can. You
You
just
miss
execute
lethal, man.
face.
Oh man.
So what deck are you playing? What deck got owned by spell power rogue?
Ram Druid.
Ah, okay.
Like he had no cards left in his deck at all, and I had like 10, 11 cards left, and I was fine.
You got 11
Still,
cards left.
Yeah.
Oh,
he
your
was-
deck. Oh.
Well, he was playing. He ran 2 sprints.
Okay, yeah. A lot of the rogues are doing that too. I run 2 sprints in that one deck that I miss lethal with.
Tell me you renamed
that's what I call
that
that
deck
deck.
Miss Lethal. Please.
That's what I call that deck now. That's the deck. I'm just gonna rename it on my client. It's gonna be named Miss Lethal.
My I'm trying to. Oh, I have my like I love doing weird names. Like my hunter deck is named Talentless Shit. My paladin deck is
Hey,
named.
it takes a lot of skill to push that button that does 2 damage to the face every turn.
My hunter's her. Like it's so difficult to play.
Oh, gotcha. Like her. Oh, that's wonderful. I love you. This is why we're friends. This is why we're
Like,
friends.
should I go face with this Huffer or not? No, I think I'll go face with it.
Because I always end up playing the decks I hate to play against, and I always give them like the most insulting names I can think of.
Yeah. Well, like
How
my
you play them.
I just straight up named it cancer. It's like, this is
My
what
zoo
you
deck is just zoo as like as many O's as it'll let me put in. That's what my zoo is.
I guess
Mine's
what I
called
would.
homework.
I'm gonna go for Legend next season with Ancestors Call Shaman.
Do it,
I'm doing it.
do it, and you better stream every game.
Every
doing
single one of them.
Have you seen it though? There actually is that is a deck now.
I have seen it. Yes,
Does it run Earth Elemental?
Ancestors Call out Malagos. No, you. The whole point is to just get Malagos out for 4 mana. So you don't run very many minions unless they draw cards and stuff. And you have all the burn spells. And then if you can get Malagos out for 4 mana, you still have 6 mana to Crackle Face. Double Crackle Face, double Lightning Bolt Face, and just kill them.
Garrett's just cringing right now.
I don't even. I've got
can't
nothing
even?
left. I've got
I
nothing
mean, if you
left in
think
me.
about it, Crackle in its current form is, 3 to 6, right?
Yeah.
So add 5, and it just lowers the variance now. Because
I
now
got hit by Crackle twice yesterday,
it's 8 to
and
11.
both times it hit me for max damage. And I was just like, seriously? Why doesn't this happen to me?
Yep.
I see. That's man. The other night I was playing the Hunter deck, and I'm like, every time I play against the Hunter, they go turn 1 Undertaker coin whatever, and then turn 2 Mad Scientist, and then turn 3 Huffer, and I'm like, how come I never get this opener?
Right.
I'm playing Hunter. It's like, no, I got Web Spinner turn 1. No Undertaker. Yeah.
It's like, again, I was showing Day 9's explanation of the magic color wheel to someone the other night, and I forgot about his explanation of red and how much he hates the color because there's mono red decks and they exist, and he calls it the elaborate coin flip. You flip the coin, you just hope it lands the way you want it to do, and it's just like, oh look, I guess I just win. And if you don't, you go, I just didn't, the cards just weren't shuffled in the 100% correct way. Next game. And if you're playing against it, you're just like, well, I guess I just hope I don't play against mono red next game. That's how it feels.
Doesn't he hate blue more though? Isn't he?
Everybody hates blue except blue players.
Yeah.
Which is
they're like, ooh, you want to cast that, don't you? Nope.
Which is Katie, by the way. My fiance loves playing blue. She loves it. She loves just being like,
Katie and I are friends.
oh, you played that minion that's like game winning? No, you didn't. Counterspell. No, you didn't.
No, it went into your graveyard. I don't know what
you like playing by the rules? I like breaking them legally. There, goodbye. Goodbye.
Like, I have 6 different kinds of cards that counter your stuff.
Exactly. What? Exactly. I actually find blue. I've come around on blue in cons because Jeskai turned out to be way more fun to play than I thought it was going to be.
Well, I like the fact that now you play multi-colors more. Like, that's more of a thing.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's been that way for a while. Mono red has always kind of just like, it always finds a way to work. But I mean, since I've started playing, it's been, Return to Ravnica was all about the guilds and whatnot. It was all about multicolor.
Jocelyn's going to sleep now.
Jocelyn's excited about this.
She got looks and she's like, blue, man. Yeah, blue.
That was pretty much my entire contribution. I played
Colors!
it like twice, and it was kind of fun.
Awesome.
Or you could just randomly make this random deck and then go to BlizzCon, play Dills, and have the exact same deck.
And have the exact same deck. How did that happen? I don't understand.
I love that. I remember sitting in the lobby drinking and just hearing Dills go, what?
I don't.
Yeah. I was like, I have that card too, and I'm going to play it.
Oh, that was good times. Good times. Anyways, D-Day, man, thank you so much for calling in. I got to end this thing, but we don't need to do a regular outro. This is all about the patrons, so thank you all very much, TAC patrons, because we wouldn't be doing this extra episode every month if it wasn't for you guys. So, seriously, you're badasses. You're all legend ranked to me. Mm-hmm. Every single one of you.
And you all got there with incredibly complex control decks that no one's ever seen before. You didn't net deck them. You created
and it only took you 10 wins.
Mm-hmm. you just went 10-0 straight to left.
All right, now you're just pandering. Now no longer seems
sincere.
Sincere.
Later.
All right, see you, D-Day. And as always, guys, only one last thing to do. Job's done.
Job's done.
Job's done.
Yes!